are from water action on the soluble limestone. Okay, so in the early days, the area was layered sedimentary, a lot of calcium, a lot of carbonate, and then it was uplifted. But as it was being uplifted, the waters drained in a wetter climate. And the water eddies, as they flowed downstream, circulated and hollowed out these caves. So they're water-borne and water-created, kind of like in the Midwest, we call it karst topography in all the caves. If you've been to Mammoth Cave, you know, that is the same kind of thing, only on a smaller scale. But what I'm trying to do is say what the impact is for Christians of the Dead Sea Scrolls. They just came to San Diego, and I went down to see them, and I didn't really see the summary for me. And the summary, I think, for us is this, that while they document and recreate the Old Testament, they were writing these things by hand and copying them from the earlier parchments. No Xerox machines. So if they wanted to have a copy for future, they had to write one out. If it was written on vellum, it was going to last longer. So that was what they were doing, is recreating the copies of the law, of the Pentateuch, etc. But for Christians, we come to a certain place in this copying that was discovered here in the caves, and that is Isaiah 53, again, verse 4, and I'm reading now from Isaiah. And it goes like this: "Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows." Is there anyone else that could be being described here than Jesus? And yet, we esteemed him stricken, smitten of God, and what? Afflicted. Okay? He was afflicted on the cross because he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we were healed. Okay. But God has played. We've all gone our own way. We've put our hands on our hips, like it shows in the textbook, you know. We've all turned our own way, and he has put on him the penalty for all of us. If that isn't Jesus, then I don't know who it was. And so the Christian church, the early Christian church, looks at Isaiah 53 as a foretelling of Christ. He didn't say he was on the cross, but it said everything else. And this was a redocumentation of that, a separate record of that foretelling of the Messiah, Christ, on the cross. Amen.